What's good, family? Shout out to my doggy Malik Roach for sending in that much needed membership coin. Any other dons out there, you know what to do. Me too, the blue join button, no doubt. So we got some breaking news right now regarding Anthony, the Boogaloo friendly sounding looking ass bear Johnson, and I'm afraid to say it's bad news. It's super duper bad news for Anthony Zest. Anthony, the Boogaloo soft belly having ass Johnston fans. All the Anthony Johnston man fans are going through it. There's no doubt about that. Listen. And people think not. Genuinely, people think I go out of my way to find bad things. You man know me. I think I put a video out a little while ago saying that some of AJ's training looked a little better than it. You know what I mean? It's looked worse, put it that way. So listen, let's get to it. Wow. And I'm telling you now, this guy, Mr. Anthony Johnston, he locked into the YB channel. I told you he a cuck, yeah? And he enjoys the YB getting off all over him. There's no other explanation. He knows this, yeah? I don't care what no one says. There's no other explanation for him putting this out than he knows I'm going to have to, you know what I mean? The YB going to have to dust his wick off and put it right the way in for him. 100%. Yeah, he's going to get wicked down by the YB. That's what he wants. Yeah, he 100%. He bored of, I'm hearing, Mr. Anthony Boogaloo Bear Johnston. Mr. Anthony on the DL Johnston. He bored of Fernando Alonso wick and he wants some of the YBs. So here you go. Here's your wicking Johnston. So anyway, like I was saying, there I am, minding my own business, and I see this post from Zest himself, and essentially he retweeted and quote tweeted a post from some next random Donny, and the next random Donny said Tyson Fury says he's hanging up as the best to do it, with a resume of Chisora, Klitschko, Wallin and Wilder 3 times. AJ quote tweeted it and said, he is the best to do it, I can't disagree, full stop. Wow. Wow! Wow! Yeah? Oh man fans, I beg, please explain to me what is going on here. But all jokes aside, yeah, you know what, for 1 second, before we get to the jokes, let's put the jokes to one side, right now, and get serious here. If any of you man wanted any more evidence, I mean, I'm not being funny, watch all of his recent interviews. In fact, the best thing to do is go back to and watch AJ versus Dillian White. The gloves are off. Watch that video. And then watch all of his recent stuff. The dude can't look at the camera, he looking left, he looking right. My man's a clone. Seriously. All jokes aside, not even a bit of a joke. He cloned. This ain't the same guy, people. And I believe AJ's now been spawned, this clone version has been spawned to put out some sort of agenda. I've implied, I'm not sure exactly what the agenda is yet, but something along the lines of, listen people, look at the way the world's going on right now. I think the powers that be want to create an army full of big, or they want an army of useless dons, yeah? And what better way to psychologically condition the masses to be big and useless? Look at AJ, look. We got the biggest one of all of you, and he completely useless and soft, and he's sucking his enemies off. Yeah, so guess what? When the government comes and knocks your door and says, listen, we're gonna put your daughters to work, guess what they want you to do? Just think 100%. They're gonna say, look at Anthony Johnston, he big and muscly, he roll over, yeah, he blow his enemies off. Of course you're gonna send your daughters in. Look at Anthony Zest Johnston, he's super soft, yeah, he ain't got no spite for no one. He can even rub his ops off on Twitter. Do you understand? That's what I believe Johnson's there to do. 100%. There's no other explanation for it. This stuff is wild. Now again, the only other explanation is the fact that AJ knows I'm going to see this, and he knows I'm going to roast him. Maybe that's the best outcome, or the best possibility here is that, yeah, the best thing AJ man fans can hope for is that AJ is kind of trying to slyly troll the YB. Because I'm sorry, if it ain't trolling, if this guy's serious, he a clone. Oops. Yeah, there's no other way. There's no way that this comment here is from the real Johnston. I just don't believe it myself. And if it was, let's say for example he hasn't been cloned, and let's say for example he's not trolling. If this is really the man, wow, he really is fraudly Harrison. Yeah, this is the original Fraudley Harrison looking ass. What? I'm baffled. No one asking. It's one thing, yeah. Let's say AJ's in some conversation, and someone says, or let's say AJ's in some sort of interview, and the interviewer says, "Oh, AJ, what do you think about Tyson Fury's resume?" This guy, AJ, has gone out of his way to find some random ass tweet from some random ass Donny and re-quote tweet it and say, "In my opinion, he is the best to do it." What the fuck? Seriously, what's going on here? Or maybe your man AJ has been paid some coin. Maybe some MTK coin came in from El Trabajan. Maybe AJ got touched. Yeah, but I don't believe that. I'd love to tell you he got touched. He ain't been touched. He just moist. How about that? AJ now is so moist. On random ass days, he's finding a way to blow his opponents off. I'm not being funny here, but I've seen the guy a day before a fight, giving his belts over, hugging his opponent. In fact, we've seen AJ get his wig pushed back. Yeah, we've seen Usyk box AJ's wig right away off his head for him, and then 10 minutes later, he in the back on IG taking photos, smiling, and doing all sorts of zest. Yeah. So I'm not really shocked, but this is I do have to say this. This for me is a new low. Yeah, taking photos with the ops. Taking photos after your taking photos after the opponent has boxed your ears off in front of 70,000 fans. That was a new low. After giving up your belts. Don't forget, giving up the belts was a big controversy at the time when AJ gave the belts to Ruiz, but that became standard. AJ did it with Usyk. That became standard. The new standard is, okay, when I lose now, I'm going to be all in the video taking photos. But this for me is a new standard. Yeah, he's now going out of his way to blow his opponents off. No one asked for this. Do you understand? It's one thing if this was prompted. Oh, it's okay. AJ is just giving his opinion when prompted on Tyson Fury. But it begs the question, what was going through his head? This shows he thinking about Tyson Fury. Otherwise, it don't make no sense. Why? Bear in mind, AJ's got 10 million Twitter and 20 million Instagram followers. Why would he repost that? Of all the things, and what gets me the most, yeah, is the fact that it's not like AJ's one of them guys who posts 10 times a day. AJ actually posts probably once a week. So for the once a week post AJ putting out, and actually even less than that, because most of the things AJ puts out is promotional crap anyway, where he's promoting some crap fight, some crap down bedroom promotions fight. AJ very rarely puts out personal opinion pieces. Probably once a month AJ will put out some personal opinion piece. So wait there, AJ's once a month of opinion piece, he's used the opportunity to state how much he loves Tyson Fury and how much he rates Tyson Fury legacy. He's the best to ever do it. He is the best to do it. I can't disagree. He is the best to do it. I can't disagree. Wow. This man's broken. I really am, genuinely, yeah. This is worse than I thought. I gotta be honest with you, man. Like I said, this is a new low. This man broken. There's no doubt about it. And it's, for example, it's like the other day I did a video. Tyson Fury got his wick out and had a quick go on Johnson and Chisora, the three Muscaloosers. Yeah. the three Muscaloosers, yeah. Chisora, Dillian the Shillian Shite, the Brixton Bummer, and Anthony the Boogaloo Johnston. Fury said they're all losers. What did AJ say? Did AJ say, listen, AJ, if AJ was in my camp, yeah, if AJ was being advised by the YB, AJ would have said, listen, you big booby on your back having ass, if you want this, you can get it right now. I don't know about no loser, we'll see who losing, yeah, we'll see who losing when I'm riding you all the way through the 12 rounds, because I got the YB in the camp, and we on this thing now. Yeah, I got rid of all my funny style trainers, and I'm rock hard for Fury. I'm rock hard for the middleweight. Yeah, if I was AJ, I'd be telling the world, listen, if Putin don't get Usyk, I'm going to get him got 100%. That's what I believe he should be saying right now. Oh, we're going to take this, we're going to... AJ should be talking greasy. That's how serious the situation is. Yeah, 100%. Instead, AJ flipped it and turned it into true Auntie Joshua. In fact, yeah, from now on, I don't want to hear no Anthony Johnston. It's Auntie Johnston. Anthony Johnston. Yeah, Auntie sounding ass. He always care about people's feelings. Yeah, number one auntie. I wish, genuinely, yeah, I wish I had an auntie like Anthony Joshua. He the best auntie. Yeah, he care for everyone. It's like, again, so after Michelle Joy Phelps, after Michelle the Fire Phelps told AJ and the Three Muscaloosers about Fury's comments, AJ comes out and says, "Oh, did that make Fury feel powerful? I'd rather just try and spread love around the world." And AJ, do you understand? You went in the... I think you need to go and join some British nannies organisation. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there's some Saudi Don who'll employ you to look after his kids. That's what I think you need to go into. About, you know me? Oh, did that make Fury feel good? Because, what's wrong with this guy? You in the fight business. As far as humans go, the fight business is as vicious as things gets outside of the military. Yeah? But the fight game is as vicious as it gets, and you're worried about how it made people feel. What the fuck wrong with this guy? Seriously, what's wrong with him? And now we go from that to this guy out of nowhere just finding an opportunity to rub off his number one op. It's wild, and especially when you've just been told that Fury's been punking you for losing, and in the space of a few days, you're out here blowing Fury off some more. He is the best to do it. I can't disagree. The best to do it. He can't disagree. And it's almost, in a way, it's almost like the fan was trying to take the piss out of Fury, and AJ's found a way to say, no, you're wrong. Don't take the piss out of him. He's the best to do it. He can't disagree. He the best. Yeah, he on top right now. He dominating right now. And as much as it may be true, from your position, honestly, it's baffling. I don't know what's going through his head at this particular point in time, apart from moistness. And if anything, my best guess would be he's trying to disarm the situation. I think AJ is so scared now of these opponents. He's trying to work out a way, you know what, I better start softening Fury up. Because if you speak to anyone who understands behaviour, yeah, when AJ, it's always suspect. When AJ's given his belts out, I've always thought this. When AJ's been giving his belts out and taking photos before a fight, I believe it's my base case that AJ is trying to disarm the situation. Yeah, he wants all of his opponents to think they're friendly. Oh, look, we're friends. Don't punch my nut off. Yeah, even though AJ getting paid $30 million per fight, I believe he wants to make it clear to his opponents, listen, we're both going to have a glorified sparring session. I don't want you to treat me like Vladimir treated me. And not being funny, Vladimir didn't even treat him that bad, but still, we know categorically after the Vladimir fight, AJ came out and said to Rob McCrappen, Rob, I don't ever want to be hit like that again. I don't ever want to be in a hard fight like that again. No, I've said it before, but that fight wasn't even hard. Oops. That fight was I'd say, if 5 was average in terms of the history of boxing fights, that fight was a 4. It wasn't even, in my opinion, it wasn't even an average fight, to be quite frank, in terms of difficulty. That would rank, historically, about a 4. Yeah? And you think of all the 15-round wars people were having, there's no way that AJ's was above average. Yeah? 100%. Now, I'm not saying, there's been worse fights, or there's been less aggressive fights, but it wasn't the way he carried on, the way that broke him, the way it broke him to go life and death with a 50-year-old man was not... It wasn't like it was that bad, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, like I said, the bottom line is, this guy, I believe, is trying to de-escalate every situation he's in. He tries to just de-escalate it recently, because he's scared. Yeah, he gave Ruiz the belts. He gave Usyk the belts. He wants them to know, listen, we're just going to be friends, and can we please just have a sparring session, and don't try and hurt me. And unfortunately, it's a shame, really, that Ruiz, and to be honest, look at Ruiz and look at Usyk. That shows you actually the difference. The reason Ruiz won by knockout was because, guess what? Ruiz didn't care about no respect. And that's why he got the KO. Usyk could have got the KO, but he was too respectful. He kind of almost went along with that whole friendly business. Yeah? Because if you look at the 12th round, when Usyk backs off, that was friendly. That was almost like Usyk, remembering, oh, wait there a minute, AJ's told me not to, or AJ's been giving me the belts before the fight and he's been softening me up. That's what I believe it was. I think that AJ's plan to soften and to de-escalate the situation worked in that occasion. Usyk realised, wait there a minute, this man my number one friend, he my number one fan. And that's what we're seeing here. Look, AJ saying, oh, Fury the best ever. So because AJ, what we know about AJ is he loved coin. He loved coin. But now he wants coin and he doesn't even want to get hit for no coin no more. There was a time he was prepared to go in there and take some licks and get some coin. Now he just wants coin for not doing nothing at all. So he thinking, wait a minute, if I gas Fury up, I get to pay 50 million for the fight, and hopefully you're gonna go easy on me. There's no other explanation for this, people. I'm sorry. Of all the things that AJ may need to say, bearing in mind it's a massive shock that he's just signed with the most useless trainer in the history of the sport, Fernando Alonso. Yeah? Just think of all the things AJ may want to put out on his social media. He's confirming how great Tyson Fury is. He is the best to do it, I can't disagree. What is going on? What's going on here? And I'm sure all the AJ Man fans, oh no, YB, and I warned you. This must be said on the record. I did warn you, man. I warned you that when AJ was zesty 5 years ago, just because he was winning, all of you goofies didn't see it coming. I said, listen, his mindset's a bit suspect to me. He sounds a little too soft, a little too zesty. And you, man, said, oh, no. Oh, no, YB, it's fine. He's just different to you. He ain't, he ain't some gully road man like the YB. Oh, 100%. All you man was in my comment section saying, oh, YB, not everyone can be on this thing like you are. He just different, and he got belts, and you're in the basement, and he know what he doing. Oops, how it working for you now? Yeah? I warned you. People don't understand the human condition. These things, they're like a cancer. It spreads. So 5 years ago, whilst it wasn't ideal that it was a bit moist outside the ring, it didn't matter. But now, it's too late now, isn't it? Yeah? It's definitely too late now. He's got Fernando heading the camp up. Big moist sounding ass. Big moist, the bummest trainer in history of the sport, like I said before. But now I'm glad you can all see now the state we've got to, because it was allowed, it wasn't nipped in the bud. These kind of things should have been nipped in the bud. I'd have told AJ 5 years ago, AJ, I don't want to hear no good things. For the purpose of your career, and for the next 10 years, I don't want to hear no good things about Tyson Fury. I don't want to hear no good things about any of your ops. Now, when you're retired, if you want to go on a sucking spree and talk about how great Tyson Fury was after you've pushed his wig back within 6 rounds, so be it. But for the next purpose of the next 10 years, you know what I mean? This is the vibe we're on. This is the motive. That's the bottom line. Don't want to hear no more about it. And if you don't like it, retire, because you ain't cut out for this game. That's where we need to start and finish. Instead, look at AJ's team, Eddie Hearn, and even Eddie Hearn. To be fair to Eddie Hearn, he gets this more than AJ does. Even Silver Spoon has been pretty good at airing his ops out, in all defence of Eddie. But everyone else in AJ's team, 258 management, AJ's funny style trainers, they all reinforced the narrative of, oh AJ, you can be big and friendly, it doesn't matter, you can just switch it on in the ring. Well, it turns out he big and friendly everywhere now, because like I said, it's a condition. Being big and friendly is being big and friendly, and now he big and friendly everywhere. He big and friendly outside the ring, and he big and friendly in the ring. He just super friendliest, big fluffy belly having ass. Yeah? All AJ wants is to have his belly tickled. That's what he wants. All he wants is for his opposition to tickle his belly for him. AJ wants to roll over and have his belly tickled. Call me a liar. What did we see in the 12th round? AJ rolled over and Usyk tickled his belly for him. That's it. He a big friendly, goofy bear. That's it. Fluffy as well. Got a big fluffy belly as well. 100%. That's the bottom line here, folks. And we're seeing this man unravel. He's unraveling. The clone programming is unraveling as we watch it. Because this here was a shocker. Honestly, I was shocked the level of programming this guy's got in him. He's gone all the way off the edge. There's no doubt about this. This confirms he cloned. This confirms he either way, whatever way you want to look at it, he finished, in my opinion. Now, again, I'm sure AJ fans are going to say, oh no, YB, it's reverse psychology. He being sarcastic. He ain't doing none of that. You wish he was doing that. Because if he was doing all that, he wouldn't be giving his belt out. He wouldn't be trying to take photos with his ops. This, if you look at the evidence, if you follow the data, this fits in exactly where, you know what I mean? This fits in along the line of the expansion of moistness perfectly. I wouldn't expect anything different, to be quite frank. Let's be real now. Was any of you, man, expecting AJ to come out on Twitter and say, Fury, you're going to get it, you big booby back having ass? No, because he couldn't say that in the interview. When AJ was confronted with Fury punking him off, AJ could have said, listen, Fury, you big booby on your back having ass. You're going to get it. Yeah, I'm sure that them titties are going to get milked. That's what he could have said. Instead, he out here talking about how he wants to apply for some Saudi Arabian British nanny service and look after everyone's kids and all of their feelings. Yeah, and it makes sense now. I exposed a little while ago, a few months ago, why is AJ in the UAE with all the kids? Now we know why. Yeah, he training to be in the British nanny service abroad. Yeah, and make sure everyone's kids are well looked after. Big Anthony Joshua. That's what they're calling him. I'm hearing all the UAE kids are calling him Anthony Joshua. Because he's the number one auntie. He makes sure they're fed. He makes sure they're clothed. He makes sure they're all psychological. You know what I mean? On point. He the best nanny, they're saying. Yeah? 100%. Anyway, AJ, he finished now. All AJ fans, let this be a lesson to you. AJ's done in the sport. He has no competitive intentions. Because if he did, this is a no-no. Who rubs off their opponents? And this shows you his mind state. AJ has exited the sport. All it's about now, AJ is going down the Chisora track. Of, let me just go in there, collect coin, and hopefully I've sucked my opponents off to such a degree they're not going to hurt me in the ring. That's what you're seeing here. AJ knows he wants the Fury coin. He hasn't got the ego or pride to say, you know what, I'm finishing the sport, let me just sit down somewhere and not piss the YB off. AJ's decided, okay, well, I need to get the Fury coin, but let me do whatever I can outside the ring to let him know I'm not serious and to let him know, please just jab my nut off and please don't put me out cold. And I hope Fury takes advantage of this. I hope Fury takes all this and soaks it up and puts him out cold. AJ deserves to be cold. Cold out for 5 minutes, in my opinion. That's what he deserves for taking my coin and wasting my coin. Yeah? 100%. But AJ, he finished right now. That's what this shows. And I can't, to be quite frank, I can't wait to see what you AJ man fans have got to come up with this one. What's your excuse? How are you going to spin this? Oh, no, YB, no, yeah, no, this is really this. What is it? What is it then? Explain this to me.